What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Filip Latocha, and we're just going to get right into it. It's turkey trot season for the next, I don't know, what is that, like 6-7 weeks, and I'm just basically going to show you guys my training plan, some races coming up leading into the Tokyo Marathon training block, and this is just a really exciting time of the year for running, and yeah, we're just going to get right into it. So, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys know how the rest goes. Follow me on Instagram, Strava. Links are all in the description below. So, let's get into it. As most of you will probably know, this is, I guess, like in the simulation of running and all sorts of things. Most people who follow the Chicago Marathon training plan, maybe the Berlin, maybe the London plan as well, they'll know that fall season is like quote-unquote marathon season, where you wrap up all of your marathon work if you're not doing like Indianapolis or anything else like that. And this block between now and Christmas is like the extra features of the game. But for me, what happens after Chicago Marathon is we reduce all of the distance training to more speed work, which then can be later used for the next upcoming year with races coming up that spring. So I basically use fall and winter to be like the off season for speed work. But in order to accomplish that and have goals to strive for, I usually have like turkey trots and other sorts of races on the calendar. But the other feature here is that this is basically following in the same, almost same identical steps as in 2019, where I ran the Chicago Marathon in 3 hours and 10 minutes. I ran it this year in 3 hours and 13 minutes. So my fitness is probably in about the same place, speed and maybe cardiovascular wise. And now we have to approach that piece exactly the same as we lead into the Tokyo Marathon training block. Now there's a few caveats here, of course, because with wisdom and other things like that, I'm just trying to keep it more, I guess, conservative on that side. So, of course, we'll just get right into it. Today is the 22nd of the month of October. So this training plan is going to begin actually starting Monday, where it's going to be a 40-mile week, and it's just going to be pretty straightforward, just keeping a little bit more distance, more moderate work. I'm going to have 2 track sessions per week. Distance is looking something, I don't know, I think my coach was talking about maybe like a 4 to 6 by 800 meter, and then like a 4-minute rest, like track session. So that could be like a session I do for the week, like a mile warm up, mile cool down, or 800 meter cool down. But you'll have this track session happening far more often because you want to have that half mile kind of spurt in between sets when you're running or things like that. So that's going to be one of the track sessions to look for, in addition to what would be another decent one? Well, I mean, you can always do the 800 meters as a broken 800, so you can do like 500 meters sprint and then slow down for 300 meters and then, go into the rest, or you can flip, or you do 500 at a slower, last 300 at a faster. There's a lot of ways you can play around with that 800 meter break, but I think in the 10K aspect of things, that's going to be a pretty good block to work with in this particular case. Now, if we want to be real bold, I guess we could do like a 2 by maybe 1600 meter at tempo or threshold. So 2 by 1600 meter, that'll be a third of your 10K workout in this particular case, where you will try to keep a tempo or threshold pace, whatever that may be. That can also work pretty well in this case. And then, of course, try to do that on the track or on the road, depending. You can also do that 1600 meter broken, I suspect, will be also okay. So those are 2 different track workouts I may try per week, and if it all works out well and the body's cooperating, I'll let you guys know how this goes according to this training plan. So, speaking of the training plan, as you can see, the distance kind of fluctuates accordingly to the races that are involved in this particular block. So, first one we need to note is that exactly a week from now, we have the Polish Independence 10K race, which I have done in 2018 and 2019. And then I broke my fibula in 2021, and on the day of this race, the Hot Chocolate 15K in Chicago is happening at the same time. And I was going to do both of those races back to back, where you show up at 7 a.m., do the Hot Chocolate, finish at like 8 a.m., and then by 11 a.m., I'm doing the Polish Independence 10K. That was going to be the plan until about a week before, like around exactly this time last year, I had, stress fractured, stress reacted my fibula. So this time around, the races are split week to week. And the other caveat here is I'm not 100% sure if I want to do the Hot Chocolate 15K yet. It's like 60-70% confirmed. I just don't know if I want to like travel to the city at like 5 a.m. again to like race the 15K, it may be a good idea just to kind of get the chops rolling. I think it ultimately depends on how the Polish Independence 10K is going to go. And then from there, we have about a week and a half off before the North Shore Turkey Trot, which is going to be the turkey trot that my friends and I have done for like the last 5-6 years together. It's always a good tradition. It's Thanksgiving. It's a good time overall. It's the perfect 10K race, I think, at this time of the year. And if there's some other turkey trots I see on the calendar that are that weekend, I may give them a try as well, but it really comes down to what races are available. I know there's a race downtown. There may be another one in like Schaumburg, which is like a suburb just south of where I live right now. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll add another race in there and whatnot. But the idea is if there's no other racing, then I start gradually building my distance from 45 miles of race week to 50 the next week, 60 that following week, and then we get into the Tokyo Marathon training block. That's when the fun is going to really begin. So I think I'm going to leave this training plan exactly where it is right here. And if you guys have any other questions or concerns or suggestions for a 10K to 15K training plan, you know, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, it's a nice prelude leading into the Tokyo Marathon training block. I'm really excited for this particular year and this particular season in my race schedule because it's just, you know, it's just fun. It's easier. It's not as distance intensive, and it's just more focused on building the speed, which is something you should always do earlier in your marathon training season than during or at the end. You know what I mean? You want to put in that speed work early and then just transfer it into your distance work as you kind of gradually go on. So that's the idea with the next 6 to 7 weeks here. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.